Hello, YouTube. I am Vince White. I am an employment attorney, and I answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users getting focused answers they need from an employment attorney. I must get all of my little things out of the way here. Like, subscribe, comment. Helps me to help more people just like you. Remember, everybody works. Not everybody wins. All right, we hit all the things. Now, we can answer the question. We have a question here from YouTube user Darnell Jenkins, who asked us, honestly, I've been following your channel for some time. It's definitely been beneficial. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. I hope it helps. With me dealing with a lawsuit now of my own. I would love for you to share how to complain to HR if you haven't already. All right. That is a great question. I think that could help a lot of people. Darnell, thank you for sending that question in. I think that could really benefit some folks. So there's two main things right off the bat that you need to hear as to how to complain into HR. One, do it in writing. And I'll break that down further, right? Two, use specific protected class language. That's simple. I'll break that down further as well. Let's talk about one. So you want it in writing because when you complain to HR, you're looking to lock in protections. You're also looking to potentially shift the burden of evidence based on what might happen to you after you complain. That sounds complex, and it is. But here's the takeaway. You need to be able to prove that you complained. So do it in writing and keep a copy. In an ideal world, you are doing it in writing via an email from an email server from a multinational megacorp that doesn't care about anyone involved. Because their email server is uncaring and will timestamp your email and then keep a copy. You should also keep a copy. You should print it out and store it for yourself. But they can verify from their email server when your email went out. And they're pretty much above reproach, not because they're so amazingly honest, but because they don't care at all about anyone involved. They just don't care, right? You use Gmail, no one's going to be like, Google's faking that email to burn this employer. No one's going to successfully argue that. That's not going to be a thing, right? I don't care if you use Gmail, Hotmail, AOL.com. I don't care if your little email server says, you've got mail. It doesn't matter. Just use an email if you can, right? It's ideal. And when I say a third-party email server, I mean ideally not your employer's email server because they have control of that. And sometimes they don't understand how forensic IT works and they try to get funny with it. Now, generally, that's pretty amazing because forensic IT is way, way better at their job than the employer is at trying to mess with records on their email server. But that being said, why have a fight you don't have to have? You can just be a little extra clever on the front end, right? Now, the second thing is use specific protected class language. Why? I'll explain why. Let's say we'll give 3 examples. And I'm going to use gender discrimination as one of the examples here because YouTube has informed me that there are people searching for gender discrimination content who are not finding the content they want. And YouTube has given me the nudge to create that content. And I, as a lowly creator, bow before the algorithm. So also I think that, it can help people. If people are searching for that content and not finding what they need, I want them to find what they need. And I guess I might be one of the few people creating it. So let's go. 3 examples. First is you write an email to HR saying, hey, I'm experiencing a toxic work environment. HR may or may not help you with that. But when they hear toxic work environment, what they really understand it to mean is this doesn't mean much of a claim. This doesn't matter very much. This person probably can't sue us for a toxic work environment in most jurisdictions. Even if they can, it's probably not a very valuable claim. That's what they hear when they hear toxic work environment. We'll go for number 2. You tap a tap on your email, you hit your keyboard, and you tell HR, I'm being bullied in the workplace. HR says, cool. So sorry for you, but I'm glad to hear that's not a claim in almost any jurisdiction in the U.S. Right? Do you see where I'm going with this? These are not magic words that activate rights and protections for you. Now, let's go to our third example. Tap a tap on the keyboard. I'm experiencing gender discrimination. I'm being treated differently because I'm a woman in the workplace, and here's how and why I feel that way. HR says, this person's activated all the protections of federal law and likely state and local laws as well. Now, if we do anything negative to them, there's going to be a burden shifting of the evidence. Retaliation claims are going to be in play. It could open up a third class of damages called punitive damages. God, who taught this person the correct way to complain to HR? They did such a good job, right? So what have you done there? You've activated laws. You've said the magic words to activate laws. And now, if anything bad happens to you in this workplace, it will be viewed as retaliation, and your employer could effectively, we're playing fast and loose with words here, but could be viewed as guilty until proven innocent of retaliation. And those retaliation claims can be lower risk and higher value potentially than your other claim, which is the gender discrimination claim. And they can be won and lost separately. So you have more chances to be victorious. This is a significant advantage for you. So, HR is going to read that and say, oh, God, this person did everything right. This person is smart, and they're creating problems for us, and we are going to have to activate resources to start fixing this problem because this person knows what to do, and sounds like she or he might be receiving the assistance of an experienced employment attorney, right? And all that's true, right? You've benefited yourself greatly by making the HR complaint in that way, and it's true of any protected class, right? Whatever the protected classes are where you are. Excuse me. Try cough. Wherever the protected classes are where you are, and I have a video on the channel about the most common protected classes in most jurisdictions, but you need to check what they are where you are because they do vary from state to state, right? Now, there's always going to be the same set of federal protected classes, generally speaking, but different states and different local jurisdictions have additional protected classes. There are protected classes in New York that do not exist in Kentucky. Seattle recently made caste discrimination a protected class, and it may be the only place in the entirety of the U.S. that lists that as a protected class. So if you're there, you have that protected class. If you're in Portland, a couple hours away, you do not. Right? That's wild. That's crazy. That's why you need to check with local counsel to find out what your protected classes are. Now, don't make a complaint to HR about a specific form of discrimination if you don't believe it to be true. That would be foolish, probably not going to work out for you, and it is going to hurt everyone trying to pursue a legitimate discrimination claim. Don't lie. Be sincere. Be heartfelt. Speak from a deep well of truth, right? But, Darnell Jenkins, I hope this has been helpful. And I think, sincerely, your question, I'm so sorry. I think it could help a lot of people. So, thank you again. Everyone like and subscribe. Helps me to help more people just like you. Take care.